Byron, far to your right here. Brian Windhurst, Cleveland Plain Dealer. You mentioned your Showtime roots that I think we're all familiar with. How do you think LeBron can be integrated in that? And do you think, getting into a situation where he can play more like that would maybe even take him to a higher level? And can you relate that to him maybe before he makes up his mind on where he signs?
Well, I think it can take him to a higher level, and the ceiling right now has not been tapped as far as LeBron's talent. We know how great he is as a basketball player, consecutive MVPs, but I think he still has room to grow as a basketball player. He's going to continue to get better, as long as he's willing to put in the work, and from what all indications are about his work ethic, that's what he's willing to do. The Showtime Lakers, that fast break style that we had, you could almost look at LeBron as a Magic Johnson. He has those type of abilities, and he has that type of skill. The one thing he probably does a little bit better than Magic is he shoots the ball a little bit better. But as far as everything else, they both see the floor extremely well. They both are demanding. They both want to win. They both are passionate about the game of basketball. And all those elements you put into one, then you got a chance to win right away. And that young man is obviously one of the top 2 or 3 basketball players, if not the best, in the NBA right now.
Byron, Terry Pluto from the Cleveland Plain Dealer. Have you dealt with LeBron anywhere in camps or anywhere along the way? Do you have any sort of relationship with him?
You know what, Terry, I really don't have a relationship. I've met LeBron on different occasions. I met him in Winston-Salem at Chris Paul's event when he was bowling with Chris and things like that, but really haven't had a chance to sit down and talk to him.
Did Chris tell you anything about LeBron, or have you talked to other people trying to get some insights on who he is?
He just told me that the guy wants to be coached, he wants to be pushed, and he is just willing to do whatever it takes to win. He's a team player, and most of this stuff I knew by just watching him play. That he's going to go out there and just play basketball, and that's his job. Go out there and play basketball. And again, my job is to lead this team and to coach them to the best of my ability, and I got one of the best in the league.
Byron, over here again, Kenny Rohde, ESPN 850 WKNR Cleveland. Fans in Cleveland are hoping that LeBron will commit to this organization. Some are wondering if you're going to commit as well. Is there an out clause if the Lakers job becomes available, or are you committed to the Cavaliers?
There's no out clause. I'm here. I'm committed to this organization to win the championship.
Byron, Pat McManaman from AOL Fan House. What's the difference between LeBron and Kobe, as you see?
5 rings.
Why does Kobe have 5?
Well, Kobe, he got started early with Shaq, obviously, and then the last 2, obviously, he's kind of made it a point. I don't think there's no real big difference as far as talent is concerned. Matter of fact, I think LeBron is more talented. But Kobe's been put in a great position, and obviously he took his lumps as well, early in his career. It's just taking LeBron a little bit longer, but again, LeBron's going to get there, and I'm telling you here, he's going to win a championship, a few of them.
Chris, Larry Leach from the AP. Can you just give us a little bit of a clue of your pitch tomorrow, and whether you have the morning appointment or the afternoon?
You mean it's not out there amongst the rumors and internet and that yet? Trying to get to the facts. Trying to get to the facts. All that stuff on the internet's not true? We're meeting with LeBron tomorrow at 11. Will be our time in the morning. Looking forward to it. We've talked before about that we have a plan in place, and we're not necessarily going to get to go into the public opinion with what our plan is. But I'll tell you, as we've moved through this process and looked at this deeply, LeBron knows how important he is to Northeast Ohio. He's been a big part of what we've done here. We've established a championship caliber culture. We have a winning team. We've won a lot of games in the last few years, and we feel like we're knocking on the door. And he's been a big part of that, as all our guys have. So as we move forward, it's important that we understand, hey, winning at home is more important. It has a chance to be special because of that. Byron was talking about winning championships in L.A. and being from Los Angeles. That's a significant, pretty awesome thing. So we're not going to go into too many specifics about what's going to happen tomorrow, but in general, I think we all know, and LeBron knows how important he is to us here.
Byron, Terry Pluto again. Did you, when you have coached a great player and say he struggles in the playoffs like LeBron did in a couple of those playoff games, just really tough games, and the criticism comes down on him and things, how did you as a coach handle that situation?
Well, you just pull a player aside. You got to talk to him man to man, and see what's going on with him at that particular time. See how he's feeling. See if there's anything wrong, outside of basketball. Sometimes. So again, that's where the communication comes in. Obviously, the players got to understand that there's going to be a point in time where they got to, trust me just like I got to trust them, and that just comes with us being together and working hard on the basketball court and trying to work through every possible scenario on the basketball court. But sometimes it's outside the court that has an effect on what's going on on the court. So again, like I said, I've grown as a coach over the years, and I understand how important that is for the players to be able to relate to you and be able to trust in you. And that's a big part of the communication that I think I bring to the table.
Bob Fanan from the News Herald is welcome to Cleveland, Byron.
Thank you.
This is for Chris. What was your first coaching search like since you've been the GM, and what happened with Brian Shaw?
The first coaching search has gone great because we ended up with the right guy. I mean, that's the most important thing at the end of the day is you end up with the person that's the right fit, and we did. And that part's been very exciting. With Brian Shaw, we went through, like I said earlier, a deep methodical process, which we do on many things that we do here, whether it's draft or free agency or trades. I went through a deep process, and that was part of the process. Is we did speak to Brian. Once we spoke to him, we took a step back and made a determination that, hey, the best person for this job going forward is Byron. And Byron was great through the whole process because we talked early on. It just wasn't necessarily out there in the public, and we had a lot of conversations, enough that I can't count back. And we had a great comfort level. And as we continued through that process the whole time, we just, Lance and myself and Dan, and we just kept saying, hey, this is the guy. It just feels right. He's the right guy for the job. So the process for me, first time going out, was great.
Chris, Jeff Phelps with Fox Sports Ohio. How important was it to have Byron in place with the free agency situation going on right now?
Yeah, I know there's been a lot of speculation of timing of that. Once again, it was about finding the right person and the right fit. If that was a week ago, we would have stopped the process a week ago. If that was tomorrow, then we would have done it tomorrow. It's easy to make the correlation between the two. The one thing that we have in place here is we have a good team. We have an established good team. This team is knocking on the door, and finding the right people to lead that team is hard. There's not a lot of people that can do this job, and that's why we're so excited about Byron, because it's a tough, grueling job. It takes a person that is a great leader to do it. We're lucky here because of Dan's ability to provide us with the different opportunities that he's provided with us, over the last 5 years, whether it's trades, buying draft picks, putting money in trades. We've established some good things here. We have people in this organization, some of them are here today, from top to bottom, that give their heart to this organization. It's a first-class organization from top to bottom. You go around the league, whether it's game operations or it's ticket sales or what have you, community affairs, people say, oh, how do the Cavs do it? So we're proud of that. You don't hear about those things a lot, but we're proud of those people. And it's nice to be part of that culture, an established championship caliber culture. So it's good. It's a good place. Happy to be here.
Byron, Steve Ashburn, NBA.com to your right. Can you tell us any specifics about your coaching staff, and beyond that, just some general thoughts on the composition of how you'd like to make up a staff and how you use those guys?
I've only talked to one of my ex-coaches so far, Paul Pressey, who will join me and be my first assistant. I kind of like to divide my guys into positions. I like to have a big man coach. I like to have a guy that can teach small forwards, and I like to have a guy that can teach guards. My hand will be in all those things, but I also like my assistants to work. I don't like having 3 or 4 assistants and they stand over on the side and I do all the stuff. It doesn't make sense to me. If I have them there, they should work. So we do a lot of stations. They have teams that they have to be accountable for. Now, it doesn't mean that I don't know exactly what that team is doing, but I want those guys to take part in everything that we do on the basketball court. Again, I haven't filled out my staff as of yet. This has been kind of quick, so I'll take some time, probably sometime next week, and start thinking about that.
Byron, back to your left. Jason Lloyd again from the Beacon. I think you played a year with Shaq toward the end of your career. I know you guys are still close. He's obviously a free agent. Would you like him back here? And are you guys too close to where it would be difficult for you to coach him?
Number one, we're not too close where it would be difficult to coach him. Just like I tell everybody else, if I can get a player to help me win games, then I want that player on my team. If my mom can help me win games, I want her on my team. So it wouldn't be that difficult to coach Shaq. Obviously, he knows what type of guy I am and what type of coach I am. But again, I'm leaving that up to Chris and Lance to kind of go over that situation. My job is to coach and lead this team, and I'll do that with whatever guys that we have on the basketball floor.
Byron, to your right, Larry Lay, JP, did you talk to LeBron or try to talk to him or people close to him to kind of see where he's at to help you make this decision?
I didn't. I never reached out or tried to reach out to LeBron. I didn't want to invade his privacy. I know at this particular time he's going through a lot. So I never tried to reach out to him. And I talked to a couple of guys that are pretty close to him, and I never talked to them about, where do you think he stands. It was more of, what type of guy is he? I think at the end of the day he's going to make the right decision. He'll be here in Cleveland, for the rest of his career. I think his legacy of winning championships in his hometown will be like nothing he's ever faced or seen before in his life. So at the end of the day, I feel pretty good that he's going to be here. And the guys that I talked to gave me rave reviews on what type of person he is and what type of guy he is on the basketball court.
Thanks, everybody. Just going to wrap it up for us. Appreciate everybody coming out. We also have some information. Garen's got a handout that he's going to distribute on your way out. Make sure you get one of those. Thanks.